Good evening, Rusk enjoyers. I hope you're doing right, because it's time for the Abnormal Barders. Yes, today we have 8 skins to chase after, that being the MK Ultra AK-47, the Rainbow Pony Jacket, the Watcher of Doom Metal Door, the Redemption Tier 2 Armour, Chameleon Roadsign Gloves, and the Black Gold Pump Shotgun. All 8 of these skins right here are abnormal. It's only the El Diablo bow that isn't abnormal, that's a regular skin. So you're probably sitting there and questioning, what's an abnormal skin? What's a regular skin? What on earth are you on about? Well, fear not. If you were to look in the description of this video right now, so look below, look in the description, you'll see I've provided 2 videos. The first video is a short video which is 60 seconds long, which very briefly quickly goes over what happens with abnormal skins. Basically, they appear at a set time on the Steam market. They are marketable at an earlier time before the Rust Door even rotates. Now, if you want to understand a little bit more, if you want to go a little bit more in depth in regards to how to identify abnormal skins and whatnot, please consider watching the second video. It's about 20 minutes long, but like I said, it goes a lot more in depth. It explains the whole situation, and it explains how, basically, if we know when skins are going to become marketable, and we, try and race to be the fastest people to put down a buy order, we could end up buying these skins for a much cheaper price, sell them for their actual prices, and walk away with some sweet, delicious profit. And that's the straightforward answer. We're here to try and make some good profits. So, sit back and relax, because now we're going to go over all of these skins. We're going to look at how many sales have happened. We're going to question, alright, did we see any continuations appear over the past weekend, and figure out what prices will we be offering for these skins for when they become marketable in about 3 hours time from now. So sit back and relax, I'm going to yap. Let's start off with the MK Ultra AK-47. So, this is a very trippy, crazy, colourful looking AK-47. It's currently selling for $3, but I have to question you. Do you honestly, chat, feel free to start using democracy. Say yes or no. Do you think the MK Ultra will actually retain its value? The $3 price? I don't think so. I thought, okay, it's very nice to see that it matched up to expectations of doing about 20,000 sales, 20,000 subscribers that is. Don't forget, subscribers is the absolute bare minimum. That means, from what we can see there, 19,309 individual people bought that skin. We don't know how many they bought individually, like maybe some people bought 10 or just 1 or maybe 100, who knows, but we know at least 19,309 people have bought the skin. I do believe we will be reaching 20k by tomorrow when we have the Rust Door rotation, but I've got to bring this up. Looking at all the AKs we've had come out this year, only one is doing alright. Only one, and that just so happens to be Thunder Gold. All the other ones, Now, I should point out, Black Diamond's done a pretty good job in sort of sitting at around its Rust Door price, but it has gone back down again, so it is what it is. But I can confirm with the skins from the previous week, or rather the previous year, previous year, we actually have the likes of Redemption AR doing alright. Oh no, Abyss went back down. Oh, that's a shame. And then we of course have likes of the Kiss AR. But that was 50-ish skins right there, and only like 3 or 4 of them are in the positive. All the other ones down bad, in the negative. So when we look at this batch, I mean, technically speaking, that's a lot worse. So please understand this. We've had multiple AK-47s come out this year at a higher price, and then they went down pretty bad. Do you remember the El Diablo AR? That sold for $3.49. Now it sells for $1.12. Do you remember the Mythical Dragon AR? Nice and gold with all those jewels. Well, that sold for $3.49. Now it sells for $1.41. Inflatable AR, $3, now it's $1.20. We also had the likes of Prototype 7164, sold for $3, now it sells for $1.28. Now, none of them are as colourful none of these are as colourful compared to the likes of this, I guess you could say. But is that it? Is that all you can really say, Hedge? Honestly, yeah. It's a trippy LSD design. But did we even see a continuation from Hessian this past weekend? No, we did not. That didn't happen. So I don't know what to think of this. And I can't help but sit here and say, if I don't feel confident in it, I might just stick with doing a fairly lower price buy order. So, yeah, $3 price, will it retain its value? I'm going to sit here and say I'm doubtful. Now, if we were to see more of this, maybe things could have a nice turnaround, maybe things could improve. 20,000 sales isn't a ridiculous amount. If I were to go do this real quickly, if I go by highest subscribers, we can kind of get the idea that, alright, it's in the upper half. There's still plenty more with more sales overall. But even then, I'm just not sure if 20,000 is going to be that bad. But based on AKs, it is quite a lot. So, yeah, I don't think it'll be retaining its value. So what price are we going to consider offering? I think I'm going to probably do $1 and $1.50. I can see it doing better. I can see it doing better compared to most other AKs, but I can't help but assume it's going to still go down pretty bad. You know what? I might lower it a little bit more. I might do 90 cents to $1.30. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I can imagine it might do a little bit better, but I'm still expecting it's going to kind of go down bad. So we'll see how that potentially turns out, but I'm not optimistic for it. I'm not feeling super confident. We'll see, and you never know. What's stopping Face Punch from picking an even more colourful AK with upcoming Rust doors and whatnot? That might instantly lose its interest from all the people that had it, because there'll be another interesting cooler-looking AK that comes out the next week. And that tends to happen every week. There's always another AK. Yay! So for that, unfortunately, there's not much else I can sit there and say, I want to play it safe, I want to do 90 cents to $1.30. Let's move on to the next skin. Rainbow Pony Jacket. I thought this was going to do about 15,000 subscribers. Nope. It's not met that expectation. It sold less. And now you're going to sit there and say, is that a good thing? Well, for us investors, yeah, because there's a lot less of these that have been bought. There's a much less likelihood that some people bought these in excess to try and sell them for a quick profit. You know, we're probably not going to see many of these listed on the Steam market. So one of the things I did directly do was compare this with the likes of the Black Gold Jacket, because both Black Gold Jacket and Rainbow Pony Jacket, they came out after all the core pieces are accepted in their collections. So for Black Gold, we had, of course, all the Tier 3, Tier 2 and hoodie and pants skins being accepted, along with the boots and gloves. Same thing applies to the likes of Rainbow Pony. Let's go take a real quick look at Black Gold Jacket, because, well, surprise, surprise, it's in the positive, but not by much. So if we quickly go over to here, you can clearly see that this is currently with its lowest listing at $2.83 with 42 listings. That hasn't really moved much. It hasn't really got that much listings, which, you know, that's fine. But 16 have sold in the past 24 hours. Is that a lot? Probably not really. So, yeah, whilst it's doing okay, it hasn't really moved that much. So now look at the Rainbow Pony Jacket. This has sold a good few thousand less compared to this. And I sit here and question, well, what now? Well, in comparison with the amount of sales we have here with the actual Rainbow Pony set itself, this has sold quite a significant amount less compared to all of this. So, hoodie pants, 24,000 bare minimum sales, 24,000 subscribers. Tier 3, that's about 19,000 subscribers. And you got the likes of Tier 2, that seems to be about, well, that's 14,000 sales each, and this one's 20,000. So yeah, looking at this jacket right here, that's only done 12,600 so far. That right there, it very likely, most likely just end up being exactly like the Black Gold Jacket. So looking at this, I'm thinking, right, okay, if Black Gold worked out all right, I think I might just only do a buy order up to about $2, you know? So I probably will be doing $1.20 to $2. $1.20 to $2 as my buy order. I think it'll do okay. I don't think it's sold a crazy amount. I can't help but assume that if so, as long as it has a reasonable amount of interest, and I have to point this out, with this appearing, it's definitely caused all Rainbow Pony skins to get a lot more interest. All of these prices, they went up ever so nicely. Rainbow Pony pants over $7, Rainbow Pony hoodie $5. It's been beautiful. We've seen like 50% increases in all the clothing and armor skins, and everybody's been appreciating that, the investors more specifically. But for the jacket alone, the jacket specifically, I think we only want to do $1.20 to $2, because I just can't help but assume initially you might see quite a lot of these being listed. But as time goes on, gradually the listings will disappear. It'll be low listings, but the price of it, whilst it might be in a positive, much like Black Gold Jacket, I can't help but assume it's just going to only be slightly above its rust price, and then yeah, it just kind of exists there. There's no other Rainbow Pony clothing skin I could think of, unless Little Ranger decides to make some primitive skins, which I don't think would happen, but we'll see. What about Rainbow Pony poncho with like rainbows all over it and whatnot? Is that something you'd want? Or an actual Rainbow Pony disco mask? That could work. Would he have to have only one antler? So it'll pretend it's a horn. I don't know if they could pull that off, but we'll see. Anyway, who knows what could be made in the future? But it's sold a lot less compared to what we're expecting. All the better for it to potentially rise up in price in the future. We shall see. So it was a very random pick as well. This was in the workshop for almost 3 years, so maybe we'll see something like that potentially happen again tomorrow. We shall see. But yeah, I've said my price. Let's move on. Watcher of Doom Metal Door. Sauron! We have Sauron as a door. Cool. Right. So, did the skin creators make a continuation this past weekend? No. They didn't make anything. They didn't do anything. What? Where's my large box? Where's my armoured door? What? Ah, okay, we're having a bit of a problem here. So, we didn't get the immediate continuation appearing. Okay, right, well, what do we think then, Mr. Hedge? Well, I think I'm just going to have to look at this as if it's just a standard sheep and a door that doesn't have any continuations after it. So, as we go over to here and look at all the sheep and the doors that have come out so far this year, if we're currently like week 19 of 2024, I can sit here and tell you we've had like 15 of these accepted, no, 16, sorry about that, 16 skins accepted already this year. Do you notice a pattern here? There's so many of them in the negative. negative. Yep, Shadowborn's doing quite alright. That's nice for you, but this right here is all by himself. There is no collection currently, whilst there was an intention to have a collection. Yeah. And I've also got to point this out. Think of all the other deplorable collections trying to get a spot in a Rust store right now. It is pretty ridiculous. Over the past month, I've seen absolutely tons of deplorable collection continuations, and I've only seen a few of them being accepted. It's very competitive. I don't think we'll be seeing anything from Watcher of Doom for a while, at the very least. Cool Sheepman Adore, but based on the pattern of what we've seen in recent past of all the recent Sheepman Adores, there's so many to pick from. There's like 220 in total, 225. You know, for that price, $2.49. Let's go quickly remind ourselves, how high is it based on highest price? It's already in the upper half. There's so many Sheepman Adores that are so much cheaper. So instead of buying the likes of the Doom Sheepman Adore, I've already forgotten his name, Watcher of Doom, I could go buy a see-through mesh glow-in-the-dark bombshell Sheepman Adore. I could go buy the Sheepman Adore of Doom from Hell, Ambulance Door. I could go buy Neon Vibe Sheepman Adore. I could buy Rainbow Pony Sheepman Adore. You might sit there and say, oh, Hedge, I don't like any of those. You might, but someone else might, and that's the problem. There's far too much to compare to. I could get Easter check. Right, so looking at that, I can't help but assume it's going to go down pretty badly. I think I'm only going to do 70 cents to $1. I don't want to offer any more. I don't trust Sheepman Adores as investments. You might, by all means. If you want to offer a higher price, that's up to you. You might be very lucky in picking these up for a much cheaper price than what it's currently listed with in the Rust store. But I'm sorry to say, don't be surprised if around the the September, October, November time, the autumn fall seasonal dip, where you see tons of these Sheepman Adores go down really badly. So consider this. Maybe it might do okay during the summer. I don't think it'll be holding up very nicely around, September time. So be prepared for such a thing. Keep an eye on it. But I'm only offering 70 cents to $1. Let's move on to Redemption. Right, so the expectation was, with the Redemption Tier 2, Kilt was going to sell more compared to the other two pieces, and that's exactly what's happened. But I was expecting about 13 to 15,000 subscribers. Nope, we're only at 10,000. So as I compare this real quickly to the Tier 3 armour, we can see that whilst this has only done about 9,000 on average subscribers, Tier 3 did almost 14,000. So we've got a bit of a funny situation here. The Tier 2 has clearly sold significantly less compared to the Tier 3 armour, and we actually saw something very similar happen quite recently. We had the likes of Chameleon, Hoodie and Pants being accepted after the Tier 3. Well, these did about 3,000 subscribers less compared to these two. It's all currently in the positive. That's looking nice. And of course, we are anticipating Chameleon Tier 2 to come out. But what's going on here? They instantly went up in price. There's only so many of these to go around compared to these two, and if we look at the actual listings, so if we go to the Steam market, you might notice that the Hoodie and Pants have less listings compared to the Tier 3. So if I could show it to you, so there's 39, there's 32, there's 46, and, well, what do we have over here? The answer is 58. So that's expected to happen. And now that's also what we expect to happen with the likes of Redemption Tier 2 versus Tier 3. This means currently that kilt right there is actually looking to be a very nice potential investment. I'm actually even considering right now buying it. I'm not joking, because this has sold quite a fair bit less compared to this, and we are still also anticipating the Hoodie and Pants. Now, we also have to consider this. Solenosta doesn't rush out skins. Solenosta probably will be cooking on the Hoodie and Pants for quite a considerable amount of time. So please take that into consideration. So, now acknowledging that, alright then, also acknowledge the whole collection here is now very nicely improving. SAR is now evens. Only the custom SMG and the M249 are struggling, and those are weapon skins that are struggle regardless. It's a gun demand issue. You got the likes of the LR300, the Thompson, the AK, the BAR, the MP5, the SAP, the revolver. They're all doing very nicely now, and of course Tier 3 right now is still doing very nicely. So during this anticipation phase for the likes of Hoodie and Pants to be submitted, I can't help but assume Redemption's going to still be doing a very solid numbers, solid sales, solid prices. And as we steer towards the summertime, could they potentially still go even higher? Well, of course, with the Hoodie and Pants, that's definitely a possibility. So I am feeling optimistic for it. I think I'm going to go strong on the kilt, and I think I will be buying some of the kilt. So lots of Redemption weapons used in game, but also never the clothing. Almost never the clothing. All right. Well, that's because they haven't truly appreciated in trying to become a Bionicle. But by default, Mr. Metatron, with a new core piece still on the horizon, you can still expect some pretty nice things to happen. So I'm going to probably do $1 to $1.70 for the kilt, and I'm going to do 90 cents to $1.50 for these two. Remember, these are selling for $2 a piece, so going about 75% of the way is still pretty strong. Don't discredit that, but yeah, that's what I'll be doing for the likes of these skins. Now, I should also point out, I'm very optimistic for the likes of the kilt. What about these two skins? Well, you shouldn't neglect the likes of the vest and the helmet. They have sold a little bit more or less compared to the likes of the kilt, and in comparison to the tier 3, that gap's even stronger. So just to remind you of something like this, based on what Mr. Metatron said, it sounds like people don't actively like to use the redemption armor and clothing. Okay, fair enough, but if it does happen to improve when we get the full collection potentially, we've seen many instances where vests and helmets ended up becoming quite expensive. In fact, I can show you this with the likes of Legacy Kevlar. We discussed this a little bit earlier. I didn't acknowledge the likes of the other two core pieces here, but these sold quite considerably, a lot less compared to the likes of the kilt and the tier 3 and the hoodie and pants. Look at the position of these two and their prices compared to all the other skins here. They're doing so much better because they sold a lot less. These were the skins that sold the least out of all the other skins here, and well, they're definitely improving ever so nicely. They're in the best spot. So that's looking pretty optimistic. Can we imagine the same thing for the likes of these two? Would it have enough interest? I could also show the likes of Whiteout and Forest Raiders where their vests and helmets sold quite a lot less and they're selling much better in terms of compared to the other skins. Again, is redemption something you're actually vying to use and appreciate, and are everybody else? If you don't feel super confident in that, then maybe you just want to stick with doing a lower price buy order. So that's why I said $1, 90 cents to $1.50, and that's why I suggested a slightly higher price for the kilt. So redemption tier 2, you're cool, didn't sell too much, that's fine. I don't think people bought these in excess, that's fine. If we end up with fairly low listings on the Steam market, that's fine. If we see hoodie pants being produced and accepted in the future, that's great. Spike in demand, spike in price. And if the hoodie pants sell more compared to the tier 2 very likely will become the most expensive pieces out of all the clothing and armor pieces with Redemption Collection. Also, don't forget, maybe we'll see some boots and gloves. That might happen. It happened with the likes of Chameleon, so let's start talking about Chameleon Roadside Gloves. Chameleon Roadside Gloves, you're sold significantly less compared to the likes of the hoodie and the pants and, of course, the tier 3 armor. So I can't help but assume the position that this is in is, of course, very, very, very similar to the likes of the Abyss Collection. What do you mean? Well, with the likes of the Abyss Collection, we saw the Roadsign gloves sell the lowest amount compared to everything else here. Look at the gloves now. So, whilst, of course, some of these skins aren't doing super great, gloves have been perfectly fine. Gloves also sold for $1.99 there. That's the key point. Right now, that's currently selling at $2.92. It's basically gone up by $1. Does that sound appealing to you? If we're in the exact same position as what the Abyss was, do you reckon the likes of these Chameleon Roadsign gloves will probably match up to around $3, much like the Abyss Collection, or do you reckon that could go even higher? Based on the amount of subscriptions it has, which is about 25% less compared to Abyss, I can't help but assume that actually might do a fair bit better, especially with the likelihood that we're going to see Tier 2 potentially on the horizon, along with the boots. Unfortunately, the boots weren't accepted with the gloves this week, but hey, you never know. Randomly in the future, you'll probably see them being accepted. So, we are also in the anticipation phase for the Tier 2 armor. It's not a matter of if, it's more of a case of when. Mr. Milho Frito will be producing that Tier 2 armor eventually. It's going to happen. But of course, this past weekend, he produced a version 2 of his Chameleon L96. So at least he's producing skins for the collection. It's just, we kind of need that Tier 2 now. But I can't help but assume he's probably waiting on it because he wants it to be in position for the June 4 swipe. So keep your eyes peeled. Stay optimistic. We shall see. So for those gloves, if we do see the likes of Tier 2 eventually, and I can't help but assume it will happen, I do believe they'll be going up in a much better position. I can't help but assume that's going to be a pretty interesting pickup as well. Honestly, it's nice to see that we have two skins I'm quite confident in considering it buying. But just remember this. Abyss Roadsign Gloves did a fairly decent job retaining its value and whatnot, but to sell it for a profit, the profit wasn't really that interesting for a very long time. Only now, as we get close to the summertime, do we see the likes of Abyss Roadsign Gloves actually selling for a price that might be worth it. So, sold hardly anything, especially compared to the hoodie pants and the Tier 3. That's looking very interesting. Keep an eye on that. And of course, if we do end up with a full collection, there is the trend of Roadsign gloves that are part of a full collection end up in the positive quite comfortably. There are some outliers. Take, for example, Damascus Roadsign gloves. That sold far too much compared to some of the other clothing and armor pieces, so that's an oversaturation type of issue. But in general, that tends to work out quite well. But most of those Roadsign gloves are 99 cents each. That's $1.99. So in regards to the price to offer for this, I think I'm going to do $1.20 to $1. I think I'm going to do $1.20 to $1. I might do $1.70. Yeah, I think I might do $1.20 to $1.70. I might go a little bit lower. I don't know. I'm conflicted now. Maybe I'll do $1 to $1.60. Yeah, $1 to $1.60 sounds a little bit more appropriate. I can potentially see that this, might have a fairly decent amount of listings initially for the next month, but I can't help but assume it'll go down. And if we do keep seeing more of the Chameleon collection, yeah, I can't help but see that it'll go rise up ever so nicely. A holographic pair of gloves to look at whilst you shoot people. Beautiful. But is that something people will be appreciating? We'll have to wait and see. Honestly, I'm kind of looking at maybe buying a bunch of them. Not a ton, but like a reasonable amount. I think that might be like a sleeper hit for the summer. It's just sold hardly anything. Hardly anything. So we'll leave that for now. Let's move on to the next skin. Black Gold Pump Shotgun. Just to get the point across real quickly, Black Gold skins, weapons more specifically, well, their skins haven't really held up very well. L96 down 25%. Black Gold Crossbow down 28%. Double Barrel Shotgun down 37%. Python, blah, 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 but you get the idea. The vast majority of these weapons aren't doing very well. So nothing's going to really help it in terms of, will the Black Gold collection help it out? Not really. Now we'll take a look at all the pump shotgun skins that have come out somewhat recently. Imperial Pump Shotgun down by 7%. Ink Dragon Pump Shotgun, that's doing okay. No Mercy Shotgun down 13%. El Diablo Pump Shotgun down 38%, and the Recycler Pump Shotgun down 44%. But let's also now take a look at the amount of sales we've had so far. This has only done about 7,400 subs. I thought that was going to do at least 10. I thought that was going to go over 10,000 subs. So that's an interesting position. It's fairly close to the likes of the Ink Dragon Pump Shotgun. That only did 5,500 sales. It has hardly any listings right now. That is comfortably in the positive. Is it actually selling for the price it's listed at? I can't confirm that. Let's just go see how many have sold in the past 24 hours. 1. Okay, well that's not looking very good, does it? But as you can see, it's been pretty stable for a fairly long time. Now I question you, Black Gold. Black Gold, Black Gold Pump Shotgun. Do you reckon people will be wanting to race and jump in and use this? How often are you even using a pump shotgun anymore, chat? That's a good question. So with the likes of what we have going on here, it's perfectly fine for what it is. It's just, is it something that people are going to be going crazy for? Black Gold, whilst it has many weapons in it, doesn't necessarily mean it's a super popular go-to option. So yeah, I'm conflicted in that. I am not 100% sure. I feel like I might just want to stick with doing a lower price buy just to be safe. But you also have to consider, I don't think it's sold hard. I don't think it's really sold that much. Okay, let's get the point across. I don't think you should be doing big fat quantities for the Black Gold Pump Shotgun. I honestly think I might only do like 20 quantity buy order tonight for the likes of this. And I think for the price I'm offering, especially with it selling for $3, I think I'm going to do $1.20 to $1.80. I think it'll do a good enough job to retain most of its price, but I can't help but assume it'll still go around $2 and potentially below $2. So yeah, $1.20 to $1.80. Just don't offer a ton of quantity. That's the answer. It hasn't really sold that much. So potentially all the better for it to rise up in price. But even then, is there even that much interest in them to really see prices go up well and whatnot? So yeah, $1.20 to $1.80 for a $3 skin, that should be alright. Right, so we just discussed all the abnormals, all 8 of them. Now I'm going to go proceed and talk about the only regular skin. Just to point out, this El Diablo bow will only become marketable when the rust rotates tomorrow. And it's a very quick answer, 60 cents to 80 cents. Why? Go take a look at all the hunting bow skins that have come out somewhat recently. There you go, down 50, down 53, down 30, down 52, down 48, down 47, down 50. Basically, the vast majority of them are down to around $1. Now, the Legacy Bow isn't, because it's very special. That was produced by Facepunch themselves with a completely unique design. Pumpkin Bow is currently being manipulated. So yeah, the vast majority of hunting bow skins that have come out over the past year or so, 2 years you could say, yeah, they're not holding up very well. They're all kind of sitting at around $1 on average. So that El Diablo bow, you might sit to say, but it's part of a collection head. Surely that might work out all right. No. 60 cents to 80 cents. If it gets too cheap, I could just convert it into metal and sell the metal and then probably get all my money back or a little bit of profit. So yeah, that's it. That was everything. It was very nice and straightforward, if anything. So overall, across the board, these skins have sold a lot less compared to what I was initially expecting, most notably all the clothing and armor. So maybe that might work out very nicely for them as we approach the summertime. We have no idea what potentially could be picked tomorrow, but it's fun to guess. So what could we expect for tomorrow? Well, of course, I'm sure many of you are well aware that I do my Rust Workshop skin checks every single week. If we quickly hop over to here, I will show you the video is located right there. Please do not forget, with all the new skins that we take a look at, I always had chapters for all the collection continuations. They're all listed there, so if you just want to skip ahead, the option is available to you. But overall, with the amount of collection continuations, it was actually a bit quiet this week. There wasn't that much, but I could quickly go over some of the interesting things. You got a cool looking locker, kelp rug. Remember kelp rug? It's going up in price quite a lot recently. That actually got a bit of a random collection continuation. There's the cool looking locker skin right there. There's the kelp rug, kelp barricade. Yep, we got a barricade. 2 barricades this week. What else do we have? So we also had the likes of Moon Guard. That looked cool. I thought something like that would work out very well. I think that might be getting accepted. If I scroll down a little bit more, we've got the alternative version of Soullight. Now we're looking at the dark side. Yes, we've got the dark side of Soullight now. Stands out ever so menacingly. Look at that. And then we've also got the likes of Shadowborn, Double Armored Door. Get a good look at that. Guys, I'm optimistic for it. We only ever really get one marketable Double Armored Door skin being accepted every year, and I'm pretty sure that'll be the one for 2024. That right there, with all the momentum it's got, with the joy and love Facepunch seems to have for it, especially considering they randomly picked out the Sheet Metal Double Door last week after it was in the workshop for about 5 weeks. It's on their radar. They appear to like it. Maybe this will be the one to be accepted this year. I'm optimistic, and if that were to be accepted, oh yes, you're expecting the likes of the Shadowborn Deplorable Collection to spike in demand even more so. So let's look forward to that. We peer pressured Mr. Vase into doing this, and next we're going to make him do a concrete barricade, maybe a water purifier. We'll see what we can do. Over to here, what else did we see? You got Imperial Crossbow over there. You've got the likes of Copper LR300, Cardboard LR300. We've also got the likes of Bullseye L96 and Chameleon L96. Get a quick look at that. Looking pretty cool there. That's looking nice. You've got the Copper LR300 there. Looking very nice. You've got the Cardboard. Aimed down the sight. I love how you can see like the interior of the Cardboard there. Bonus points there for Mr. Little Ranger. You've also got the Bullseye L96. You've got the Chameleon L96. Already talked about that a little bit earlier. Yep. Do you reckon? What do you reckon? Do you reckon? I hate that he got this picture made. I hate that so much. What else do we have? Chainmail potentially could turn into a full-fledged proper primitive set. You might look like a robot, but hey, it looked funny. So leather gloves and burlap shoes were submitted. Now this is a bit of a funky design. We have hide halterneck shells. Now technically speaking, this is proposed to be to be a beach collection. What do you mean? If I go over to here, you might notice that has the lay beanie hat, the lay poncho, the seashell hide halterneck, and the seaweed skirt. This is produced by Shaft. Skynoise, sorry about that. Skynoise and UGMK. Basically, these were the people that made the lay poncho that was accepted. They produced the beanie hat, but that wasn't accepted yet. But we potentially on the horizon might have like a full-on proper beach collection, which is what they've referred it to. I'm not sure if that'll work out all right, because Facepunch would have to be aware of it. Maybe they'll just call it all lay collection or whatever, but do you like the idea of that? Are you a fan? Would you want to walk around and pretend you're like on holiday or something? It's pretty cute. So, yeah. Alright, cool. And then we also have the likes of another attempt for some green camouflage primitive collections. Facepunch doesn't like primitive green skins. I know. I don't feel optimistic for this. If it were to be accepted, oh yeah, that's definitely going up in price, but yeah, I don't think it'll work out, I'm afraid to say. And then we also do have the likes of Mr. Crabbo hoodie and pants here. That's looking pretty sharp, looking pretty cool. Maybe they get the likes of tier 3 and tier 2 armor. And then we've got all that tier 3 armor there, looking pretty good. Yep. So, that's pretty much everything. Mr. Micro's website, that gives us a good idea for all the upvotes and the downvotes. The best upvote to downvote ratio is currently Vase's Shadowborn Armor Double Door, Vase and Cubists. And then, of course, Blind's Rug is second, Forest Shadow Bandana is third, Whiteout Poncho. Oh, we didn't even talk about you. Yeah, another Whiteout skin. What do you reckon, chat? What do you reckon? I can't help but assume that would still cause the likes of all the other core pieces that already exist, all of the Whiteout skins, that would still cause all of it to spike in demand a fair bit. Last year, we very randomly got Whiteout boots being accepted. That's cool. It caused pretty much all the Whiteout skins to elevate to a brand new level, at least 50% up in terms of their price. That happened around May last year. Well, It's May again this year. What do you reckon? We do have a Blackout poncho, which I should also point out. Blackout collection is also made by MDE, the man behind the Whiteout collection here. So we shall see. We could be optimistic. Oh, yes, we can. But we never really get anything we are very happy about, do we? And I have to bring this up. You know, the very random extra late picks that we got for this Rust store. Do you reckon we'll be seeing more of that tomorrow? I hope to see. I'd love to see like the sheer randomness of who knows what potentially might be accepted. So, right then, with that, I believe we've kind of got all the words out of my my body. And I feel like we could probably skip ahead. Don't forget, keep an eye on the likes, the commits, all the new stuff that's being worked on in the lead up to the June 4 swipe. You know, that's on the horizon. So with that, let's skip ahead now and we'll jump ahead to the actual buy orders. So, right, here we go. I've got myself prepared. I'm focusing the jacket first and then I'll go for the kilt second. And it is now 1 o'clock. There we go. Now it's time to start spamming refresh, refresh, refresh. What about over here? What about over here? What about over here? What about over here? I mean, either one appears. I'm going to be going on for it, so... Okay. Did everybody remember they can sell these right now? Okay. People are spamming the golden cappers at the moment. Funnily enough, it's not actually showing on the stream chat. But yeah, we had a golden capper... train earlier. Lots of people are very happy with their golden cappers. Right, what's going on? What's going on? That's what's going on. Wow, why did that appear early now? Strange. Very. It is strange how that I couldn't see anything for a very long time and now it appears. That's quite annoying, that is. Alright. What are you going to do? What can you do? Okay, there's the thingy. Hooray. Oh, hey, 122. I don't think so. Right, let's quickly flick over to the second account with the second buy orders, the stronger buy orders. Right, what am I doing? 1.6. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I feel reasonably... Hang on a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's $2. Hold on a second. Pull back a bit, Hedge. Chill out. You got to think better on that. What's that in my currency? Got to figure out what's going to be... Whoa, okay. I think I'm doing... I think I'm just going to do 1.52 in my currency. That's fine. I'll live with that. I will live with that. And we got the gloves. How you doing, gloves? Gloves earlier, I think I said I was going to go to 1.6. Someone's already gone to $2. That's looking pretty appealing. And I'll go point 1.52. We'll go with that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. So, right. I feel like that. What? 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 What are you doing? No, you don't do that. You work for me perfectly fine. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, look, something's gone wrong. I'm just going to skip ahead and we'll look at the abnormal barter support in a bit. So that... Hello again, YouTube. How are we doing? So it's been 13 minutes. As we go over to here, we're going to go see the barter support. And as you can see, the likes of the Rainbow Pony jacket, which is currently in the Rust store for $2.49 right now. It has barters pushing all the way up to and above $2. Now we've got very strong barters pushing up in the middle of $1.50-ish. And then it goes all the way up to $2. Looking very strong. Stops at around $2.07. Yet you've got a few barters here at $2.12, $2.16 and $2.20. So you're going to sit there and say, Hedge, does that look good to consider buying into? And I'll be honest with you, yeah. I can't help but assume this will probably have a decent time during the summertime, but you do have to acknowledge we probably don't have any other interesting clothing pieces that could really give that a boost. And also don't forget, Black Gold Jacket's doing pretty alright at the moment, but it's only up by a certain amount, not really super profitable. So you might want to question, you know what, if there's not that many barders at around $2.20, maybe I'll go do barders at $2.20. Buy them for 30 cents cheaper. You would be able to flip them for a decent price, so as long as this stays up in the positive for a fair bit. So, questioning that, I think you could just stick with a barter, but if you feel a little bit more confident, if you truly think, okay, this is probably the most colourful jacket skin that currently exists in the game, I think that's going to work out well, I think during the summer people will be appreciating it, then yeah, offer, consider buying into it. So if you're watching this in terms of it, on the in video form, basically, if you're watching this on YouTube right now instead of the stream, you have maybe up until about 8 o'clock in the evening UK time tomorrow to make your decision. You could go buy some, and I don't think it will really go down bad at some point, but that probably won't happen until around the autumn fall seasonal dip, September, October, November. So during the summer, I think it'll be doing okay, but I think you could probably stick with just doing a buy order, and yeah, get them for a fair bit cheaper. So it's worth a shot. It's up to you. It's it's in your hands, but I will sit here and say this doesn't appear to be the most interesting thing to consider buying. That would be the Redemption Kilt. So on the horizon, we can anticipate the hoodie and pants, the next core piece. And if that core piece gets accepted, we can't help but assume Tier 2 and Tier 3. Tier 2 and Tier 3 will spike demand, spike in price. With the current position that this is in, selling in the Rust store at $1.99 at the moment, you can see here that the barter's going all the way up to over $2. We already have barters over $2 for this. It's currently in the Rust store for $1.99. Now, I will just quickly sit here and say, this barter here is me at $1.91. I'm fine with that. You might sit and say, why, Hedge? Didn't you say you're going to go up to $1.70? I've actually maxed out my account. What do you mean? If I go over to here real quickly, I'll just quickly show you. This account has £1,705, and my total barter amount goes all the way up to 17,056. If you can understand the rules with the Steam market, you can only be able to do barters up to about 10 times your current amount of money. So because I have 1,705, and with what I got here, I can't do any more barters. I've reached my limit. I'm done. So looking at the kilt right now, I'm fine with that barter being there, because if my account can't do barters anymore, that's it. It's essentially dead to me. Like, I'll make sure it can have enough money to be able to do every sort of barter it wants to do, but I actually might jump in and buy some kilts now. If that's in the Rust store right now for $1.99, and we've already got barters over $2, that's looking interesting. It hasn't sold a ton. It's only done 10,000 sales so far, bare minimum sales, subscriber count. That's still lower than the Tier 3 armor. That is in a very comfortable position. And remember, the kilt, it's the only leg armor we have, so therefore you'd use it either with a Tier 2 armor or the Tier 3 armor. That's fine. That's going to have a pretty interesting future ahead of it. So if you're watching this during the day in video form, you've got to make a decision. Do I want to buy that before it's too late, before the Rust store rotates? We'll see. So yeah, it's in a very good spot. The balders that we have, even before these two, are still looking very good, pushing all the way up to $1.60. Yeah, this would be the skin to consider buying if you had to go buy a skin, and crossing your fingers hoping you get your money back or at least a profit. There's nice positive things on the horizon, but will we actually get those hoodie and pants being accepted? So as long as we potentially see them sooner rather than later, so as long as, people are still anticipating, it'll be right. It'll still be good. And like I said, I only did 10,000 bare minimum sales. It's not like there's going to be tons of these listed on the Steam market. Fingers crossed. I don't think people bought a ton of these in excess, hoping to make a quick flip profit, is the answer I'm trying to say. So that's a decision for you to make. Right, Chameleon Roadside Gloves. Again. It's in the Rust store right now for $1.99, and we've already got a barter over $2. Now, I think the person who did this might have mistakenly thought that these were on sale for $2.49. Either way, it's still got all of that support pushing all the way up to $1.60 again. Guys, honestly, that's looking to be pretty good as well, considering the main point that it sold hardly anything, like 7,500 bare minimum sales, subscriber count. Yeah, and we do expect Tier 2, and we do expect it to be accepted. We'll see, but yeah, I'm feeling confident that will also have a nice bounce up in price. How high will it go? Don't know, but even if it went up to $3, hey, that's still a profit. I'm not going to complain. So that's looking pretty strong. Yes, I'm the $1.91 barter again. I did it with the account that has it's exhausted now, so I don't have to worry about it. I can't add any more money to it. I can't do any more barters with it. It's just kind of essentially, what's the word I used to always call it? Well, I can't believe I've completely forgotten the word that I called it. What did I call it, chat? I refer to it as, what's it called? It's exhausted. There you go. That's it. It can't do anything anymore. That's the answer. If this brain worked a whole lot better, anyway, you get the idea. So I'm in a perfectly fine spot with that. If I pick these up for $1.91 each, I'm fine. I do hope it stays above $2 and sticks around that point. Typically, with the Rust Store rotating, you tend to see skins that literally just came out of the Rust Store suddenly going up in price a fair bit. Some people do like to jump in and make some quick purchases, thinking last week's skins could easily bounce up a fair bit more. So be prepared for something like that tomorrow. Keep an eye on these skins. Looking over to here, we have the vest and the coffee can. Both of these have very good requests to buy, and same thing again. I'm under the impression the guy that's doing this buy order has mistakenly believed these are on sale for $2.49 in the Rust Store. So both the vest and the helmet both also look like things you might want to consider buying. It's up to you, but yeah, no, that is pretty funny, isn't it? It's pretty funny. So what do you reckon? Looking pretty sweet to also consider jumping into? The options available, but in terms of actually buying into, if that barter stays, if it never disappears, yeah, that ain't going below $2. So that's looking already appealing at right now. So yeah, you probably are just better off just making a purchase, if you think it's going to work out right. And again, these are sold even less compared to the kilt. So both of these are also looking like interesting options. If you were going to buy some, I wouldn't buy a ton. It's up to you, all right? You've got to really consider your budget and whatnot. But, you know, are people going to be wanting the helmet as much as the kilt, for example? There you go. So that's for you to consider. Right, next up, what do we have? We have the MK Ultra. This is currently selling in the Rust Store for $2.99. And, well, what do we see over here? The buy orders stop at $1.50. The big buy orders stop at $1. So, oh dear. Yeah, that don't look like it's going to be retaining its price. That does not look like it's going to be retaining its $3 price. It's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. People just don't feel confident with AK-47s as investments. So there we go. That's the answer. It's not a pretty answer. It's not a great answer, but it is the answer that we have. So that doesn't look very good, does it? No. I'm very sorry to say. So next up, what do we have? Black Gold Pump Shotgun, also selling for $3. And also only having buy orders kind of going up to about $1.50. Okay, that's a bit better compared to the AK. Plus, you know, we don't really see that many pump shotguns. This sold a lot less. If we were to make a direct comparison to like the No Mercy pump shotgun, that did like 10, 12,000 sales. This has only done about 8,000. So can't help but assume this would be doing better than that. But I don't think it's going to be retaining the $3 price. I think it will still be below its $3 price, its Rust Store price. So to see that, yeah, that's fine. So if you're going to consider Hedge to buy some, nah, just stick with doing a barter. You could probably pick up a whole bunch of these for maybe like $1.80 as a barter, maybe $2. Yeah, $2 probably wouldn't be a bad shout. So we'll see what it is, see how it is from here and now. Then we have Watcher of Doom, and yeah, that's only going up to about $1. So yeah, that's definitely not retaining its $2.49 price. Now, if we were to see more skins, if we see this develop into a collection, all the better for it. But Skin Creator this past weekend didn't even make anything, so shrug. Don't know what to say there. So yeah, that was all pretty quick. There is another thing I wanted to bring up. One of the people who was doing buy orders tonight had this problem happen. I don't know how. Steam is not working very nicely, but apparently if he just waits, one of these buy orders will be removed. So it might be his first buy order, I'm guessing. I don't fully know how that happened, but he had that happen to himself. It is impossible to have two separate buy orders in the same account. It's impossible, and yet this is what's happened. So something's going on there. It was a glitch. I hope this didn't affect you. But yeah, we'll see what happens over the course of maybe the rest of this week to find out how that affected the guy. But yeah. So, yeah, that's it. That's everything. We went over everything real quick. There's not much else to say. Looking forward to the rest of this summer, I guess. So let's see how those Twitch drops turn out. I'm guessing we're going to slowly find out next week who's getting Twitch drops and what are the Twitch drops and whatnot. So that's good to look forward to. But with tomorrow's Rust Store, I look forward to finding out if we're going to get some very random extra late picks like the jacket here. And I'm under the impression maybe we'll get some very, very, very late looking, interesting looking deplorables, because we only had one this week, didn't we? So we shall see, we shall see. What random thing from the past could we end up seeing? Blackout sleeping bag, tempered sheet metal double door, No Mercy double armor door, something crazy like that. It could happen. We shall see. So that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Berserker collection, that could happen. Yeah, everything like that. But you're only going to find out if you actually go look on the workshop and whatnot. So, chop chop, there you go. But you could just go on SCMM and look up all the collections that we have and see what skins weren't accepted that way. You can do it that way if you so wish. But yeah, my job is done. We shall see what the Rust Store looks like tomorrow. And I will sit here and say this: I do plan to do a silly challenge with my server. Basically, we're gonna make a lovely monument for when will the rotation happen. So yeah, we're trying to get that done before the rotation actually happens. Otherwise, we get bad luck. That's what we've set ourselves up with. So look at the description if you want to see the links to likes of my server and my Twitch, because I will be streaming tomorrow, waiting for the Rustore to rotate. I really hope it's not an early Rustore rotation. Otherwise, it'll be bad luck. Right, I guess we're done. So thank you very much for watching. Catch you later.